On the Level Talk Show.
You're tuned to On the Level with Ankhobia. This is Muta Baruka.
Get ready for some of the hottest talk on radio. The On a Level Talk Show addresses issues that matter to you.
Ankhobia with On a Level.
And it is a very good evening to you. Welcome to New Style Radio. You're in tune to the On a Level Talk Show. My name is Ankhobia. It's always nice to have you with us for another 2 hours once again. Also want to say a big hello to our online listeners, wherever you may be in the world. Welcome to 98.7 FM New Style Radio or www.newstyleradio.co.uk.
More life, more joy, and
Iwayne is singing more life, more joy, and more prosperity. Very fitting for our subject. I think so anyway. I hope so. Once again, a big, warm welcome. Specialist in the house. He comes to you with 27 years of experience in alternative health practices. I think it's fair to say that he is a natural health researcher and a consultant. His name is Derin Bepo, and he's traveled all the way from London to share his experience with us. And he wants to ask you several questions on the show. He's also going to challenge you as well. Some of the questions he wants you to think about is your present state of health to date. And he wants you to ask yourself if you're happy with your present state of health. Also think about the health of your partner, your parents, your siblings, that is your children, and of course, your siblings, that is your brothers and sisters, and your children, excuse me. All right, think about the state of their health and ask yourself, are you happy with the way the picture looks at the moment? And as you think about these questions, yes, if you think about the answers to these questions over the next 2 hours, he's going to take all of us on a journey that will certainly challenge each of us. Okay, but the information, even though it might be challenging, it may be just what you've been searching for a long time. You know, you got those aches and those joints in the body, and you got the allergies. You may have a consistent headache and a migraine, or you may suffer from blood pressure or diabetes. Who knows? If you call in and share your concerns with Derin, he may be able to help you. All right? Or you may want to challenge him on some of the information that he puts across. Who knows? I'm sure it's an encounter that you'll learn from, to say the very least. All right? He's going to challenge us on the way we view our health, on the food that we eat, any medicines that you might be taking or have taken recently. And of course, he will get you to rethink about that beautiful but often abused vehicle called the body. Okay, and I must say, I'm looking forward to tonight's show. I'm not a health specialist, I'll tell you that now. Sister Ankhobia needs an overhaul. She needs a checkup like yesterday. So that's our show. Derin Bepo, welcome to New Style Radio.
Greetings, good people. Greetings, Birmingham. Thank you for inviting me. You know, when you told me this slot was available, I was so excited, so happy to come down and share some very empowering information with the people, with your listeners.
Yes.
And so here I am. So thank you so much.
It's so nice to have you with us in the studio.
Yeah, it's so nice to be
And it
here
shows a
as
lot
well.
of dedication on your part to come all the way from London.
Oh, yeah, it's a small thing. It's a small thing, really, because when it comes to health, I don't joke. When it comes to health and our people, that's my passion. So for me to be here, it's my pleasure to actually be here and share vital and valuable information.
Okay. Once again, a big thank you. Before we get into the main discussion, please share with us your journey towards health. How did you get started? What kind of took place in your life and made you think, okay, I need to look at my health? Or was you always healthy?
Well, okay, I'm more or less always healthy. One or two little challenges, but my health journey started, I think, when I was a child.
Yes.
When I think maybe 7, 8 years old, and a question came into my mind unbidden from where I don't know where, but I think I know now. But at that time it was a strange question. Do you know what that question was?
No.
No. Okay, put it this way: in my family, we ate meat every single day. Grew up in a family that
Okay.
we just ate meat, every kind of meat. The back of the animal, the front of the animal, the inside of the animal. We ate everything. And all of a sudden, there's me, all of 7, 8 years old, and this question came to me: is it possible to live without eating meat? Strange question for a little kid, right?
Yes.
And I remember asking my mum, and she looked at me and said, "Shut up and eat your meat." And I think that was the first kind of stirring of some kind of investigative kind of understanding or drive or impulse, And I think I answered that question. I went to the local library, and I remember still today, I had this big reference book. And I found a word called vegetarians.
Yes.
And I was reassured, yes, it is possible to live without eating meat, But nothing happened for years after that, And later on, I started to have a deep and abiding interest in health.
Yes.
I remember one time I was on a continent. I had a small health challenge with my hands, and they were kind of, it was very funny, not nice. These kind of spots kept coming up,
Yes.
And I was getting medical care for this. I was much younger at the time. And it was very unpleasant. And my mum eventually took me, because the medicines were just taking them for months and months, and it would go down and come back. And something was telling me these medicines, you're taking so much medicine. So I was taking about 5 different pills and injections. It must be doing something on my body. Someone said, this must be doing some damage. My mum eventually took me to a market. This is in Nigeria, a big market. Amazing market, all kinds of herbs and plants and all kinds of healing things, even like tortoise shells and there was lion's skin and all kinds of things for healing, And this lady looked at my hands for about all of 3 seconds and said, take this, take that. I thought, okay, you didn't take my blood pressure, asked me any questions, didn't fill out any forms.
Yes.
And I thought, no, can't be. Anyway, let me just try it. Took this stuff home, and boiled up this stuff, and it was bitter.
Okay, it was herbs.
It was herbs, yeah. But I thought I had no choice. This stuff in my hand was not nice.
Yes.
It was very antisocial, and I thought, well, let me just try it. Got nothing to lose because the drugs hadn't worked. And within a week, my hands had healed up. It was started going down and never came back.
Yes.
And that really got me thinking. There is a natural way of living. There is a natural healing system out there. And from that time on, I started researching and trying to understand about natural healing and how that it was possible to be totally well and prevent illness and heal illnesses just based on the natural world.
Okay. So from there, you decided, okay, right, I'm going to get my health on track.
Yeah.
So what areas did you go into to begin to specialize? What kind of areas did you specialize in?
I quickly, from my studies at that time, many years ago, I began to realize that the foundation of all health was diet. The foundation, that the pivot of health was what was going into the mouth 3 or 4 times a day had to have a massive impact on health. That had to be the key. But remember, at that time, I'm talking, say over 15, 20 years ago,
yes,
there was still this debate. There were some radical people who were saying there's a link between cancer and nutrition. And the mainstream, the doctors, the researchers, the scientists, the professors were saying, no, that's not possible. How can there be a link between cancer and nutrition? This is what they're actually saying.
Yes.
You see? But I was convinced that the whole foundation of health was tied up with what we're eating.
Okay.
So I began to investigate different eating systems, like veganism, macrobiotics, and I was reading a lot of information. But the key thing that really helped me and propelled me along was that what I read, I practiced. I practiced to a very, very radical degree.
Yes.
So I remember the day, very specifically in 1984, in fact 85, where I realized certain things I had in my diet were not beneficial. Not all of them were actually detrimental, but if they weren't beneficial, I decreed, look, if it's not beneficial, I'm not going to eat it. So it's out. So
yes,
anything that's going to go into my mouth has to actually be of benefit to my body.
Yes.
So I remember on that day, out went dairy, out went white flour, out went sugar, out went soft drinks. Literally everything just went out one time, cold turkey, boom,
and
out.
You never looked back since?
Never looked back since, never since. That's 1985. And I remember within a week, I started to feel better. I noticed there was a difference in how I was feeling, difference in my energy, So I started to move forward from there. And I went through various evolutions of my diet, refining my diet and studying and understanding more. And so since then, I don't believe I've had a bad day since. Don't have had any illness.
You don't get headaches, stomach aches?
No, don't have those things. I'm not registered with any doctor anywhere never really been sick, never had any health challenges. And I've just lived in a way through adherence to natural health principles and diet that actually proves it's possible to be disease-free, to be sickness-free. And beyond that, man, last, say 7-8 years, and I took things to a whole new level. And now I'm dealing with rejuvenation. Rejuvenation of the body through natural practice and principle, and living a very, very natural health lifestyle. Now, say like about 10 years ago, a lot of the things I was doing and practicing, I got very excited. I used to share this information with people. And they'd say, go away, you health nut, you health freak. That was the phrase, health freak, you know. And people were not interested in this kind of information, this kind of knowledge at that time. People weren't. But something amazing has happened in the last, say, 5-6 years, over the last decade. People become very fascinated with health and the link between health and diet, health and nutrition. And even kind of ironically, the cancer research people are now saying, well, you know, there's a link between the amount of fruits people are eating and your possible risk of cancer. So it's come full circle now. That people are now, this link has now been made. But I find it's kind of very, very strange and very funny that it's taken this long, you know, but it's good. It's here. And there is a health sort of a revival, health revolution going on. People are becoming very interested in health, becoming very interested in nutrition, and also becoming interested in the potentials of natural healing.
Okay, now you're a health consultant.
That's right, yeah.
How can you help our listeners? I know you have clients across the country, and you also have clients you have international clients as well.
That's right, yeah.
How can you help our listeners? What can they call up and ask you?
Well, I believe as we progress with this interview, I'm going to share a lot of information that's going to be very beneficial. And also we're going to take specific questions, you know, but if people are just listening and hold tight for the next couple of hours, we're going to go over some principles of health.
Okay, next couple, I don't know, about a couple of hours.
Yeah.
It's a 2-hour show.
2-hour show. Okay, so we've got less than 2 hours.
Yeah.
Can we have an extension?
2-hour show.
I can talk all night on this. No extension?
You'd have to speak to the management.
Okay.
You'd have to speak to the management about that.
See, the key thing, one thing I learned, took a while to learn it. One key thing is, there are certain principles, there are certain guiding principles of health. See, once you master the principles, or the macro, that all the other details kind of line up. You see, so a lot of time people are going wrong because I haven't understood the basic principles of health. Okay. And there's certain basic principles of health.
Well, that's funny because that does take me on to my next question.
Yeah.
What is good health? What is bad health?
What is good health? What is bad health? Okay. Health is not the absence of disease. Put it that way.
Health is not the absence of disease.
Disease, yeah. So to be healthy, you have to say, I'm not actually in hospital and say I'm healthy. Now healthy, true health is a state of very high energy, a state of, you're empowered, you're mentally, physically, spiritually. There's a coordination of who you are, and you're able to function with all you have and give all you have to be able to live. But we find when people lose their health, they lack energy, they lack will, they lack motivation, they just lack desire and the ability to actually go forward and achieve life's goals. You see, so you find that when people become ill, that one of the first things that happens, or before they actually become ill, is they lose energy.
Yes.
So the number one health complaint I have is I'm tired. I'm tired all the time.
Like me.
You see? So a lack of health will mean a lack of energy.
Yes.
You see? So what we find with health is that health, substitute the word health for vitality.
Yes.
Energy, life force.
Okay.
You see? You look at kids running up and down full of energy,
yes.
You know, until they've spent a few years having their health undermined. You see? So the key factor of health is vitality, life force, energy.
Okay, vitality. Life force. What is life force?
What is life force? Life force is the gift from God. It's the very essence of life, and it's what we have. So how do you know if someone's alive? Life is movement. No movement is death.
Yes.
Yeah, how do you know someone's dead? No movement.
Yes. It's like,
so you can take a spectrum in between that, the amount of energy, the amount of life force, amount of energy, and put it on a continuum spectrum.
Yes.
And the more energy you have, the more alive you are, you see. So the more something has undermined your health, the less energy you have, the less life force you have. So what is life force? In a nutshell, life force is that essence of who you are, the very essence of who we are that's given to us from God. It's that spirit on the soul which animates our physical body. Now we find if the physical body is out of balance, we're not able to express who we are fully.
We live in such a, what most people would say, a country that is very advanced in the areas of medicine. Some of our elders don't even want to go back home because they fear they will lose the benefits
Yeah.
of the medical system in this country. But if our medical system is that advanced, why are we so sick?
Well,
as people
that's
living in
a good
Britain
question.
today?
I really, really want this question to be asked every
Yes.
single day. People ask this question. That if we are so advanced, this is the Western world. Why is everybody sick? Why is everybody sicker? I mean, to break down the stats, let's look at one disease, just one, cancer.
Yes.
Yeah. The cancer rates are 1 in 3. I.e., 1 in 3 people will get cancer over the course of their lifetime in every developed and so-called first world nation. And that figure is actually rising. So we're finding people getting cancer earlier. We're finding increased childhood cancers. And so we look at other diseases, that the heart problems, the diabetes, and these are all on a massive increase. Then to add to that, you've got new diseases. You've got new disease syndromes emerging, got new health challenges. So what we find, we have a technological advancement.
Yes.
But in advancement in terms of quality of life, we've actually gone backwards. We've actually regressed. So why should that be? Why can we have like millions spent on research? Why can we have millions spent on developing new drugs? Why can we have millions spent on new hospitals and facilities, and yet people are getting sicker? Yeah. Can anybody ring in and tell me? Because I'd really like to know, why are we all getting sicker? You know?
Okay, well, just hold that thought
Yeah.
there, as they say, stick a pin. If you want to call in, this is the number to dial.
If a positive body, myself for example, comes in contact with a negative body, then that positive body should impart positive energy to said negative body, resulting in a state known as positivity.
The On a Level talk show is on the air. Let your voice be heard.
No topic is out of bounds.
Call the On the Level talk show on 0121 678 6666. And if that number is busy, then try
0121 678 6022.
Okay, and of course, if you want to send us a text, the number to dial is 07624 809 887. You were saying that.
Yeah. Well, can I answer my own question?
Most certainly.
Yeah. Well, the reason we're sicker than ever before, and we're increasingly sick, is we're totally operating a totally false system.
Okay, just to cut you, sorry, we do have a caller on the line. Welcome to the On a Level talk show.
Yes, your guest just asked a question
Yes.
about why, with modern technology,
Yes.
with all the drugs and the treatment that we have nowadays, that we're still getting sicker.
Okay, caller, can I just ask you your name before you continue?
My name is Lennox Allen.
Okay, Lennox. Hi, Lennox.
My synopsis on that idea, because I deal a lot with health as well, is drugs are not natural. They only cover up the symptom. They do not deal with the problem.
Right on. Specifically, practically, actually, that's the situation that's happening now. We live in a drug culture where people are sick, but we haven't asked why people are sick, and we're just dealing with suppressing symptoms. That's the key thing.
Yes.
It doesn't work. It backfires.
It compounds the problem.
Precisely.
You're dealing with one fault with another fault just to cure it. Like, as you said, you brought up cancer, and the treatment for cancer is a poison itself.
That's right. This is a situation we face today. So we find that one of the biggest industries on earth is the legal drugs. The pharmaceutical companies are the biggest drug peddlers, biggest peddlers of misery, sustain people in misery. But we have simple principles of health which can actually maintain people in perfect health and actually help people to reverse health challenges very, very simply.
Yes.
But the key thing is, the big difference is what people know. You see, what people know, what people believe, what people understand. These are the important things. So without the right knowledge, people cannot get the right results. So one of the biggest gaps in people's knowledge is that we are responsible for our own health, and everything is cause and effect. But increasingly, people have relinquished control over their own health, and people are doing things on a daily basis which undermines their health.
Okay. Lennox.
Yes.
Do you follow any particular dietary pattern?
Yes. Basically, in the morning, I start off with salad, sorry.
Yes.
Fruit salad. Always have a fruit salad. I don't eat meat.
Yes. Do you eat fish?
Fish, a lot of fish. I do eat a lot of fish.
Okay.
And no additives. Nothing in a tin. Nothing that's been preserved.
Yes.
The reason why I gave up meat as well is because that is a living animal that has trauma and stress of its own to deal with.
Yes.
And when it's killed, the adrenaline shoots up in the animal, and you are taking on that adrenaline level and all that trauma and stress. So what nourishment you're getting out of the meat at first, you're having to work off all that poison inside of it, in the meat before you get any nutritious value from it.
Yes,
And
yes.
you can get all that stuff from veg without going down that road.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to say to Derin before?
No, I'm just happy to hear that people are starting to wake up and leave the McDonald's alone.
Excellent.
Thank you very much for your
Thank
call,
you very
Alex.
much.
All right,
Thank you. Bye.
keep listening.
Can
Good night.
I just comment? Just speaking to that gentleman, you can tell he's done research.
Yeah.
Okay. So a key thing is what he knows. Yeah. And he's got the information. So what he believes and also what he understands. So he knows, believes and understands information which can actually prolong his life.
Yes.
You see, so he's taken proactive steps.
Yes.
You see, so he's totally minimized his risks for the top 5 killer diseases by his lifestyle.
What are the top 5 killer diseases?
Cancer.
Yes,
I think for the first time in America, cancer overtook heart problems. Heart attack, heart failure, myocardial infarction is a technical name for it. It's probably number 1, but yeah, maybe between cancer and heart problems, number 1 and 2.
Okay.
Number 3 would be like diabetes.
Yes.
Number 4 would be obesity, and all other problems linked to obesity. And obesity itself links back to the first 2. And number 5 health problem would be other infectious diseases.
Okay.
Greetings, massive. This is Freddie McGregor, and you're tuned into New Style Radio, the biggest thing in Birmingham, 98.7 FM, and we run the thing. You hear me?
Ankhobia with On a Level on New Style Radio 98.7 FM.
All right, we have another caller on the line. Caller.
Ankhobia. And yes, I didn't catch your name.
Derin.
Derin.
Yes.
Okay. Hi, Derin.
Okay, who am I speaking to?
This is Gail from Winton Green.
Okay, hi Gail.
Hi, darling.
All right.
I wanted to ask, please, I'll just drop something into this debate here about sickle cell disease, because we're talking about stuff that affects black community.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sickle cell in my life is absolutely massive because I have a young child that has sickle. And it's recently taken on a whole sort of life of itself and got sort of really severe.
How old is your child?
She's 3 now.
3 years old.
But one of the things that the consultants advised to do at 3 months old was to put the child on what they call a prophylactic antibiotic treatment.
Yeah, this is mayhem. This is madness.
Which I considered that at the time. I mean, we had a massive sort of, debate going on, and they threatened to take me to their legal department because I refused.
It's madness. You did the right thing. Absolutely the right thing.
So, what sort of advice would you give to a mother like myself who's battling, fighting to keep her child well?
Okay, I can't go too in depth, but if you give a call after the show, because I'm going to be in Birmingham for the next probably a day or 2.
Okay.
And I'll be doing some private consultations.
And they're free as well, so he's not
Wow.
charging anyone to come for his consultations.
Yeah.
If your information's any good, I will pay you whatever I've got.
Well, let me ask you a question. What's your daughter's name?
Her name's Elfrida.
What did she have for breakfast this morning?
I usually try and do a porridge. She's into cornmeal porridge.
Yeah.
And I know the dairy products and whatever are considered or deemed to be bad for us, but I have to think about nutrition for this girl.
Yeah, that's totally the wrong diet. Now, you see, when you understand what sickle cell is, is certain cells in the body are malformed and are unable to carry oxygen properly.
That's right.
2, and also because they're malformed, they're unable to pass through capillaries.
That's
right. You see? Now, one thing, and I hope we can go deep into later in the program, one people have not really understood that your diet will impact the quality of your blood.
That's right.
You see? So most people are eating a diet which A, thickens the blood, okay, and reduces the blood's oxygen carrying capacity.
Yeah.
Okay, and this leads to fatigue, tiredness, a lot of serious problems, headaches, Then 2, the wrong diet will also cause the red blood cells to agglutinate, okay, actually stick together, to clump together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's in somebody who hasn't got sort of a hemoglobin problem like SS.
That's right. That's in ordinary people. So how much more someone who has SS? Now with SS, there's a particular type of diet that you need to be on, which is a very, very ultra natural diet, which actually helps the red blood cells to actually repel each other and not clump together. And so you find that the level, the vitality of the other cells is much stronger and is able to carry the load despite the fact that there are some cells which are malformed. Yeah. But furthermore, and I'm going to be talking about raw food. Yeah. Because the raw food information and revelation is the most powerful information that people need to know to how to maintain their health, you see.
Yeah.
So what we find that cooked foods have an impact on the blood and cause the blood to malform and cause the blood cells to malform over generations, you know. And in fact, if you come, I bought a DVD, I can show you a video of this, what it actually looks like, you know. Now, people using things like microwaves. When you microwave the food, it causes severe challenge in the blood. Severe challenge in the blood. Okay. People using sugar, people using processed cooking oils, people using white starch products. This causes severe challenge to the blood. You see, so these foods would be absolutely no-no for the sickle cell. But for sickle cell, I've got good news for you. There are specific things you can do with your daughter. Things like juicing. Yeah. Introducing vegetables into a diet in a way that she would like them. And also there are specific products and herbs which can actually help the blood cells to reform and get stronger over time, over a 3-month period.
Will that enable them to actually carry more oxygen?
Absolutely, yeah.
Wow.
And also I've actually got a product I developed, oxygenating product, which you can apply to the skin, which absolutely boosts the amount of oxygen flowing through the blood. So with sickle cell, there are 3 or 4 strategies you can do simultaneously to actually improve the situation literally from day one. But when you're working like this, you have to work continuously and over a 3-month period, because the body's healing process is over a 3-month period, and you see a lot of changes happen in that time.
Okay.
You know? But do stay tuned and listen to some of the principles I'm going to discuss, and you can apply these. And if you want to know more, you can call after the show. I can go into more depth in this particular situation.
Okay, I will do that.
And what I'm going to do as well, Gail, is give out Darren's phone number.
Excellent.
So people can speak to him whilst he's here in Birmingham.
Excellent. That is wonderful. It's good to know that somebody has some knowledge on what we can do about this. I mean, this little girl, she just had 2 blood transfusions last week.
Yeah.
Her spleen was absolutely massive, and I try and keep her as healthy as I can.
Yeah.
But it seems sometimes as if it sort of ricochets out of control, and you just sort of sitting back and thinking, oh my God, what can I do about this?
Okay, please, from tomorrow, start her off with fruit for breakfast. Fruit.
Okay.
Yeah, a big bowl of fruits.
What, so you mean like the old thing about having like a cereal or...
No, cereals can't help you. Cereals have got very, 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 very low nutritional content.
No cornmeal porridge, no oats porridge, especially not mixed with condensed milk like we black people do.
Absolutely no way. No way. There's no health energetic factor. There's no healing factor in that at all. Start off with a bowl of fruit in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you have a microwave,
throw it out.
Put it outside the front door. In fact, put it outside the front door and take a hammer to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a deaf instrument.
I do agree with you there. I do agree with you
it's absolutely. And if anybody wants to email in, I can email them a lot of information and research about how microwaves actually are very detrimental to health.
Yeah, well, there's a guy called Dr. Vernon Coleman.
Vernon Coleman, yes, I know him. Yeah, he's a deep researcher.
Yeah,
I respect his
him
work.
On one of the Christian channels, and he was basically saying the same thing about microwaves and the effect that it has on the cells in the body.
Yeah, it's lethal. It's lethal. Please throw it out today.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all you listeners.
Darren, I won't hold up the phone line any longer.
Yeah, you're not holding it up. Remember, we're here for you.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
We're here for you.
You're such a sweetheart.
Thank you. We're here for you.
Thank you.
All right, Gail.
Well, I'll speak to you after the show then, Darren.
Okay, many blessings.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, take care, guidance.
Bless you too. Bless you both.
Okay, thank you. If you want to call in and speak with Darren, okay, put any query you have to him. I'm sure he can help you or give you some pointers to put you in the right direction. Don't be shy. This is your #1 community station, New Style Radio, and we are here for you. If you've just tuned into the show, this is the On a Level Talk Show. My name is Ankhobia, and I'm here with Darren Beppo. He's come all the way from London just for you. Just for you. All right? And he's here, and he's going to give us some advice over the next hour and a half, some serious advice. And to top it up, he's not even going back to London when the show finishes. He's not getting back on the train and saying, yo, laters, I'm out of here. He's going to stay in Birmingham, and he's offering people free health consultations. All right? On the On a Level show, we come to look at issues around health, and Darren is here to help us develop a different paradigm in relation to our health.
A different paradigm, yeah. I call it health IQ. Yeah, so we have an idea of IQ or consciousness. Well, I developed a phrase, I call it the health IQ. So when I test most people, they've got a very low health IQ. You see, so they've got a very low understanding of the factors which impact upon health, or they've got misinformation or lack of information. And as a consequence, people would do the wrong thing on a daily basis and end up 5 years, 10 years down the road with a health status that they didn't plan for. So I always say it's very important to people to plan, make a plan for the level of health they want to experience. If not, then people end up where they don't want to be health-wise.
Okay, we have another caller on the line. Welcome to the On a Level Talk Show.
Hi, how you doing? You alright?
I'm fine. What is your name, caller?
Ryan.
Wayne. Okay, welcome, Wayne, to the On a Level Talk Show. What would you like to say?
Just a quick one, yeah. I just wanted to find out the guest that you've got in. When is he having his consultations?
We're going to give out that information towards the end of the show. Listen out for his phone number. Pen and paper ready.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and jot down his details, and then you can speak with him after the show.
Yeah, excellent. That's fine. Thanks for that.
Okay then, Wayne. You enjoying the show?
It's a bang gun. Actually, could you just pass on to him?
Yeah, he's here. He's listening.
Okay, cool.
Hi, how you doing?
Not too bad, thanks.
Greetings and blessings.
Right. Oats. What's wrong with oats?
What's wrong with oats? Okay, I can think of a lot worse things. But oats, you've got to be careful because a lot of oats are processed.
Mm-hmm.
Really, the best form of oats is called oat groats. It's the pure oats.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy that from, I don't know if you've got some good health shops around here.
Yeah, we have.
You have, yeah. If you get the oat groats, then you mill it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's, you get much more nutrition from that. But the oats are sent in a packet, they've been milled under hot rollers.
Right.
So they've lost some of the vitality through that process, you see. And also a lot of the oats are, they've been around in silos for a long time and they are. So try and get the oat groats. But oats in themselves are not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
They're 100 times better than cereal. Put it that way, you know.
Okay. If a person's going to go into, say, like bodybuilding or weight training, yeah, and they've got to get, like, nutrition and, like, protein and carbohydrates and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What kind of information would you give to them?
Well, it's very, very important to have, like, a diet where you've got high amounts of raw food in your diet.
Right.
Because people understand about protein, people understand about carbohydrates, but people don't understand about enzymes.
Yeah.
Without enzymes, nothing's happening. You see? So a lot of people doing bodybuilding are actually poisoning themselves and breaking down their livers by taking huge concentrated products like soya milk, vitamin, mineral supplements,
Yeah.
and which most of it ends up as expensive urine.
Uh-huh.
You see? But the real bodybuilding foods really are greens. Yeah. If you look at a gorilla, you try and out bench press a gorilla. You see? And what's a gorilla eating? You see? If you want like poundage, look at a cow. And what's a cow eating? Yeah. So some of the most bodybuilding foods are greens, green vegetables, and foods in their natural state. You know.
Okay.
There's a guy called Steve Arlin. Yeah, Arlin.
Mm-hmm.
Arlin. Yeah. Look at him. Gonna have a look at him. And there's a guy called Storm on thegardendiet.com.
Okay.
Yeah. And these guys promote very ultra natural way of eating, and they're both into like physical development.
Right.
So check them out for a lot of information there.
Excellent.
Okay, Wayne. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much. God bless you.
Okay, take care, guidance. Okay, we have another caller on the line.
Hi there.
Hi there. Who am I speaking to?
Trish.
Trish.
Yeah.
Hello, Trish.
Hi.
Hi, you sound very quiet. Like you're contemplating it.
No, it's just, I'm wanting to know because you're talking about raw foods, yeah?
Yeah.
And natural foods, which is all good, but where we actually get it from, supermarkets and such, I'm thinking of GM products and foods that, okay, when you get home and you actually boil it and all the nutrients are actually gone out of it. What do you think about that, and where can we actually get food at its purest? Because you're talking about raw food, but when I go to the supermarket or I buy my fruit, it's a lot of it is stuff that's already been processed or genetically modified, if you know.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's becoming increasingly hard to get pure food. There's increasingly less pure food, but it's increasingly easy to get more pure food. As this health revolution really gathers pace, you find that there are more health shops. Mm-hmm. And you find that, for instance, like, I don't know about here, but in London, the price of organic foods in Tesco's and Sainsbury's has really come down a lot over the last 18 months.
Yeah, Tesco's here is quite good. But we're not promoting Tesco's, but yeah.
We'll promote anybody who's selling good food or pure food. But yeah, you can buy organic food.
Sorry, when I say we're not promoting, I'm not doing an advert.
Okay.
But when they say it's organic, is it truly organic?
Well, for the most part, yes, because there are a lot of regulations which control what can be called organic, and these can be tested. Trading standards can actually test. They go and test whether it's got certain vitamins. There's rigorous quality control. But yeah, certainly you got supermarkets selling organic stuff. Now you got markets. And when I came into Birmingham, landed in the, near the Bull Ring, and I see the massive, Chinese area.
Right.
And you find a lot of the Chinese shops, supermarkets, you can find a lot of very healthy vegetables, things like mung bean sprouts and the green cabbage and lettuce, a lot of interesting vegetables, lychees, all kinds of things you can find, you know. So the stuff is everywhere, but you just have to be selective. For instance, I'd say if you go into supermarket, go in supermarket and do 80% of your shopping in the fresh vegetable produce section and just head for the checkout after that.
Okay. Well,
that's an easy way of doing it. And I'm sure you got a lot of street markets. Have you got a lot of farmers markets springing up here?
I don't know.
No?
I know you have allotments. There's loads of allotments.
Allotments, yeah?
Yeah, but I'm not too sure about the farmers. I imagine they would be further out of the city.
No, farmers markets.
Farmers markets.
Yeah, in London.
Oh, now and again, actually. Now and again, they have one down in the city centre.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. Now and again, they have one in the city centre outside the Friends of the Earth shop.
Yeah,
and they have quite a few shops out there.
The farmers markets. In London, we have a lot where the farmers bring the produce direct to market, and the people go to buy the stuff direct from farmers. That's a movement that's happening a lot in London. Maybe it's happening here as well. But increasingly, you will always have an availability of fresh foods if you're ready to look.
But you were also saying, when I was talking to you in the week, that some organic food is actually minerally deficient.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, due to the way that affairs have been conducted over the last 100 years in Europe and over the developed world, most of the soil is mineral deficient. It's got a very, very, very low level of minerals. And this has been tested, say like by DEFRA, they've tested soil and found like, say, certain minerals have really, really gone to low levels. So even if you're eating organic, you're finding that a lot of the food is mineral deficient, you see. So that means it's even more important to be eating as naturally as possible and eating concentrated foods. You know, things like spirulina, wheatgrass, barley grass, some of these super green foods. They're very concentrated in greens. Things like, you know, like wakame, heard of wakame?
No.
Kelp, these are seaweeds.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, you can get these in like Japanese shops or health shops.
Yes.
These seaweeds hold huge amounts of minerals, you see. So where the minerals deficient in the soil, if you're eating things from the sea, then you're getting that mineral deficiency made up. But also
what do you think about vitamin and mineral supplements?
Most of them are a waste of time, to be honest. Most of them are a waste of time. Most of them, your body can't absorb most of them. Most of them are just artificial. They're man-made, you see. And if you go onto the internet and go on Google and do a search for dangers of vitamins and mineral supplements, you find that there are a lot of studies shown that people actually have problems from taking long-term use of vitamins and minerals.
Right.
Because these things, they're not natural, they're chemicals. They're actually made in laboratories, you see. But if you can find concentrated foods and use these, or food concentrates, you can actually get a lot of vitamins and minerals which are lacking from basic foods, you know.
Okay.
So use like concentrated foods as supplements. Like for instance, there's one product I brought a few down, which is a super greens concentrate, which contains like barley grass, wheatgrass, spirulina, kelp, these kind of things, yeah. But another thing to notice is that the mineralization process or demineralization process is not as acute or nowhere near as acute in Africa or the Caribbean. So a big health secret is to buy the food that's coming from the Caribbean, buy the vegetables and the fruits which are coming direct from Africa.
Don't they spray these foods when they come into the country?
Do they spray them when they come to the country?
Do they spray them in order once they get to the dock and they sprayed?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
No, not necessarily. No,
Okay.
no. But you find the foods from the Caribbean are much more mineral rich, and the foods from Africa are much more mineral rich, much more nutritious than foods from the West. Because the foods from the West are grown on very, very, very extensively farmed soils. You see? So that's a big health secret there. You know, it's things that you get when you get the. Do you have Caribbean shops here? They're selling.
Oh gosh, yes, yeah, plenty.
Oh yeah, we need to support those shops more. Buy foods that come direct from the Caribbean. And you get a lot more nutrition from those foods.
Okay, Trish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
Take care.
All right, thank you for your call. Okay, and I've just been onto the internet while Darren was talking to Trish, and I've typed in the dangers of vitamins and minerals, and so much has actually come up on the screen.
Oh, there's so many studies,
Vitamins and minerals getting past the hype. That's some of the things that have actually come up. All right, let's go over to our text and see what we have.
Oh, we have some text in, have we?
Yes, we have some text in. Remember, if you want to text us, Caller, I can see you. I'm coming to the phone lines now. Derin, you've taken over our station.
Hey, I can't get a word in edgeways.
Okay, there's a text message from Miss B. She says, what advice does the gentleman have to give me? Or are there any other websites that you also endorse? But the question she says for herself, can you tell her, why does she get, I'm not even sure if I should say this word in fact, I'm going to change it. Why does she get severe tiredness when she eats and she can't control her sleepiness, Miss B? Why does she get, in fact, that's something that I think a lot of people can relate to.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Miss B, for your text.
Well, obviously, let's deal with, there's live food and there's dead food.
Yes.
Yeah. 100% of people eating dead food end up in health problems. Yeah.
Yes.
Health challenges. Yeah. So there's a live food and a dead food. Most people not put food in that kind of category.
Yes.
Is food live or is it dead? Yeah.
Yeah.
A food which has been processed, a food which has been cooked, yeah, a microwave, boil, bake, grill, steamed, is dead. Yeah. And why is it dead? Because it's been heated. The heat process will change the molecular structure and it will kill all the enzymes in the food. Now, any food without enzymes in it is actually a problem for the body.
What if you steam it?
You steam it. Listen, put it this way.
If you gently steam the food?
No, it's got to go.
I just couldn't imagine. I cannot imagine eating. I mean, I'm on my hot food.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't imagine eating just raw food, to be honest with you. I'm being honest. And I'm sure a lot of people are saying the same thing out there.
Are you going to do the challenge? I'm going to give a challenge later on. No cooked food for 3 days. Yeah.
That's our challenge tonight?
Yeah.
You hear that, listeners? No cooked food for 3 days.
Yeah.
Derin is asking, am I going to do it?
Yeah.
I will, only if the listeners do it.
Okay.
So if someone calls up and says, yes, I'm going to do it, I will do it.
They will do it, trust me. Someone out there, ring in, do it.
Okay.
Now listen.
We've got somebody on the line.
Oh, someone's on the line.
Yes,
okay.
we have somebody on the line. Thank you for holding, caller. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the On the Level Talk Show. Who am I speaking to?
Taco Bell.
Who?
Taco Bell.
Okay. Taco Bell, how are you doing, sir?
I'm not doing so fine when it comes to the topic at the moment.
Really?
That's the reason why I called in, you see, because I want to access the Virgin details so I can really catch up with him another time, because right now I'm kind of preoccupied, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, but we're going to...
A quick call.
If you got a pen and paper, let me give you the details then, whilst. If you got a pen and paper to hand.
No, I haven't got that hand, to be honest.
Okay, but we're going to give it out at the end of the show.
I tell you what, Kovia.
Yes.
I'm going to put you to the test now. I'm going to ask you to retain that information from me until I get it from you, yeah?
Okay. I will.
I will call you back next week.
I'm only around till Wednesday, maybe.
Yeah, but Derin is saying he's only here till Wednesday. So if you want to speak to him directly, he's offering free consultations
get a pen, sir.
Whilst he's in Birmingham. Then, it would be good. Like you say, you're not feeling too well. You don't sound too well, actually, if I be honest. But, whilst he's here in Birmingham up until Wednesday, you could actually speak with him.
Can you get a pen?
Yeah, not at the moment, to be honest, because I'm on the street.
All right.
Okay, call back later. I'll listen later and we'll give you details later.
Okay, then. I certainly will, yeah?
Okay, I'm looking out for you. Blessings, sir.
All right, and powers to you, mister, because you sound very interesting.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Taco Bell.
Yeah, respect of you.
All right, take care now.
Yeah?
Okay, bye.
So we have live food and dead food. Yeah?
Yes.
Now, the problem people are having today with their health, increasing cancer, disease, reproductive problems, headaches, migraines, tiredness, sickle cell, early aging, skin problems, eczema, mental health problems, overweight, obesity, all these problems. Yeah. It's people eating dead food. Yeah. Now, can life come from death? It's impossible. Yeah. So what happens when you heat the food? Any food heated above 115 degrees is dead. The enzymes are killed in the food. So hitherto we've understood vitamins, we've understood minerals, we've understood antioxidants. But the next big wave of understanding nutrition is understanding enzymes. Now, enzymes in foods are the elements which actually perform many, many functions in the body and actually help the body break down and assimilate that food. If there are no enzymes in the food, the body struggles to assimilate that food.
Yes.
Okay. And the body then has to start making its own enzymes to actually help assimilate that food. So most people are living on an enzymeless diet. An enzymeless diet will absolutely guaranteed end up in sickness. Now, in my work, what I do, I get people to get more enzymes in their diet.
Yes.
And you see things begin to happen within 7 days.
So So what can Miss B do now to stop her from being so tired after she's
Well,
eaten? Is there anything you would tell her to do?
I guarantee if I asked her to show me what she ate today, I'd see it right there, right in her food. I'd see it right there. I'd see the food she's eating is killing her. Yeah. She's doing what's called nutricide. Yeah.
Yes.
She's actually killing herself with the food. You see, now she was having more enzymes in her diet. For instance, like, she got herself a juicer. Yeah. Made best friends with the greengrocer.
Yes.
Yeah. Got an account with the greengrocer. Yeah. Got herself a juicer.
Yes.
Yeah. But also another thing that enzymeless food, dead food, cooked foods, they clog up the colon.
Yes.
You see, that's why when we talk cancer, the number 2 cancer is colon cancer.
Yes.
The number 1 health condition people face today is constipation or blocked bowels or some kind of bowel problems. It's irritable bowel problem, Crohn's disease, constipation and all its ramifications is the number 1 thing people are experiencing. You see, and the reason is people eating the dead foods.
Yes.
The dead meat, the dead starches, dead carbohydrates. These things, they literally clog up the bowel. You see, and a clogged up bowel just spins off into literally 1,000 other health problems.
Okay.
You see? So you find, the first rung on the ladder to back to health is to clean the bowel.
Mm-hmm.
Get the live foods in. Yeah. Get people having fruits for breakfast instead of Cocoa Pops or whatever.
Okay.
Get people having like green vegetables, learn how to make like more enzyme rich foods, have more enzyme rich foods on a daily basis. And you see a difference within 7 days.
Yes.
The skin starts to clear up. The bowels start to move. People start to have energy. People start sleeping properly. So amazing transformations begin to happen once people apply these 2 principles of health, the live food principle and the cleansing principle. And the cleansing principle starts with the bowel. The first organ to be cleansed is the bowel.
Okay. You're in tune to the On a Level talk show with Ankhobia. Coming up to the news in just a short while. Hold on, caller. I can see you. Coming up to the news in a short while. When we come back, we're going to talk some Pacifics. Black men. Darren's going to be talking to you about sexual dysfunction, erectile problems. Why is it that there's an effeminization of males taking place? Talking also about reproductive health. Talking to the sisters about menstrual problems, puberty, womb removal.
Fibroids.
Yeah, fibroids, yes. So we're going to get into that on a serious level. Miss B has just texted me back and she says, it's a clinical term, honestly. I still can't say it's Sister B. I think it's a term that's quite disrespectful to us as African and Caribbean people. I've got to be honest with you. I really do think so. So no, we cannot mention it on New Style Radio on this station.
I'm intrigued. Let's look at the screen.
Okay, if you come around, you can look at the screen. Okay, he's getting up. Take your headphones off though. If you match about things. Okay. Coming up next is the news and weather together on New Style Radio.
New Style Radio, 98.7 FM.
Commercials off, music on.
They play a lot of artists that I haven't heard in a while.
They play my kind of music.
I love that radio station.
Today's jams and the best old school. It is New Style Radio.
Ankhobia, empowering the community with the On a Level talk show.
Beef. What a relief. When will this poisonous product cease? This is another public service announcement. You can believe it or you can doubt it. Let us begin now with the cow. The way it gets to your plate and how. The cow doesn't grow fast enough for man. So through his greed, he makes a faster plan. He has drugs to make the cow grow quicker. Through the stress, the cow gets sicker. 21 different drugs are pumped into the cow in one big lump. So just before it dies, it cries in the slaughterhouse full of germs and flies. Off with the head, they pack it, drain it, and cart it. And there it is in your local supermarket. Red and bloody, a corpse neatly packed. And you wonder about heart attacks? Come on now, man, let's be for real. You are what you eat is the way I feel. But the Food and Drug Administration will tell you meat is the perfect combination. See, cows live under fear and stress, trying to think what's gonna happen next. Fear and stress can become a part of you. In your cells and blood, this is true. So when the cow is killed, believe it. You preserve those cells, you freeze it, thaw it out with the blood and season it. Then you sit down and begin eating it. In your body, its structure becomes your structure. All the fear and stress of another. Any drug is addictive by any name. Even drugs and meat, they are the same. The FDA has America strung out on drugs and beef, no doubt. So if you think that what I say is a bunch of crap, tell yourself you're gonna try and stop eating meat, and you'll see you can't compete. It's the #1 drug on the street, not crack, cause that was made for just black, but brown beef for all American teeth. Life brings life, death brings death. Keep on eating the dead, and what's left? Absolute disease and negative. Read the book How to Eat to Live by Elijah Muhammad. It's a brown paperback for anybody, either white or black. See how many cows must be pumped up fatter? How many rats gotta fall in the batter? How many chickens that eat shit you eat? How much high blood pressure you get from pig feet? See, you'll consume, the FDA can care less. They'll sell you donkey meat and say it's fresh.
Join in today's discussion. Call the studio on 0121 678 6666. No, go get a pen. Go again. We'll say it again. Call the studio on 0121 678 6666. Or if that number is busy, then try this one. 0121 678. Get a pen that works. Start again. 0121 678 6022.
It's your innovation station. On 98.7 FM. It's new style radio.
Okay, welcome back inside of the On a Level Talk Show. My name is Ankhobia. If you've just tuned in the house, we have Derin Bepo, all the way from London. He's a health consultant, a health researcher, and a health specialist. Tonight, we are talking about the foods that you eat and how to get back to a healthier, more rejuvenated you. All right. Let me give out some announcements, because I know once we get back into the discussion, Darren, the phone lines are going to go crazy. Okay. Yamanja Bookstore, they have Film Africa, which is a monthly black film showing and discussion. So each month, that is the last Saturday of every month at 7:30 p.m., they're going to have a black film that they're going to show, and some discussions afterwards. And I know they got some films that's very original. Places are very limited, so you have to call in to reserve your seats. 344-3744. Okay, the admission is free, but donations are welcome. All right, Film Africa. They got some unique films. Believe me, I'm definitely gonna go there and chill out because I need some relaxation time. All right, so I'll be there every month. Also coming up this Friday, Conscious Equation. They have a discussion at Malika House. This week's topic is economics with Paul Ifeoma Grant. Some of you know Brother Paul. He's been on this show earlier this year when he was talking about saving our sons and how we can best do that. But he's coming to Birmingham this Friday. So he's going to be talking about economics. All right. And some of the questions that will be asked on the night are, how can we, that is, how can the black community develop an abundant and prosperous state? What are we creating for our future generations? Where is our wealth going? I guess Brother Derin would say, where is our health going? And also, how are you doing your part to invest in our community? How are you doing your part to invest in our community? That's this Friday. Join Conscious Equation at Malika House over there on George Street in Lazals. The investment is only £3. Yep, £3 on the door. Very cheap. For more information, call 07875 151 559 and speak with Rebecca Gordon. Final announcement comes from moi. This coming Black History Month, I'm looking to do a series of shows. We've got 5 Mondays of shows, and I'm looking to focus on the black woman's contribution to world history. So we're looking at women like Pharaoh Heshephet of Egypt, Empress Makeda, Queen Dahir al-Kahina of Mauritania, another sister, I can never say some of these names, Bilikeso Zungbu of Ijubu. Go on, brother, you say it.
Bilikeso Shumbu.
It just rolls off your tongue so nicely. Yeah. Okay, also Queen Aloha of Ife. No, Ife, isn't it?
Which one again?
Ife, I-F-E.
Ife.
Yeah, Ife. Okay. And also the one and only Angola and Nzinga of Ndongo and Matamba. All right. So those are some sisters we're looking to feature. What I'm asking you, do you know, maybe it's yourself or maybe you know a sister out there who would be willing to come on during Black History Month and talk about that sister? So I'm looking for, you may want to pair with somebody. You go out, you do some research, for example. around Empress Makeda, and then you come and present that back to our audience. What were her strengths? What were her weaknesses? Anything we can learn from her today as Black women, all right? I'm going to make this into a documentary series, so it would more than likely be pre-recorded. So we'll have you in the studio quite a few weeks beforehand, have a script for you, and then put it to some music, etc., etc. So it would be something that you could keep as well. All right. So this Black History Month, let's make it a special one as we join hands as Black women and show the world how we've contributed to civilization. All right. Come down to New Style Radio at the Afro-Caribbean Millennium Center, 339 Winston Green on Dudley Road. I work here upstairs every day. Just come in and ask for Ankhobia. And let's see what we can do. All right. So I'm looking for lively sisters who are confident to get on the mic and do their thing. Sisters who are good at researching. All right. Who don't need too much direction. Okay. Back to our discussion. Now, we said when we came back, Derin, that we would be talking about men, women, and children. Very briefly, what's some of the most common ailments affecting Black men today in Britain?
Prostate cancer.
Yes.
Diabetes and high blood pressure. I mean, I can just stop there. Just those three alone. That's prostate cancer, diabetes, and high blood pressure are absolutely running rampant in our community. And it's so sad, really, because these problems lead on to a lot of other problems, which actually culminate in people being taken out very, very early, people losing many years off their life. In fact, there's an interesting stat that I forgot to mention, that the average person spends the last 30 years of their life sick.
Wow.
In the Western system. So it's interesting, isn't it? But definitely with diabetes, it really cuts down the lifespan. High blood pressure, is very, very, very detrimental to overall health and spoils the whole function of the whole body. And prostate cancer is bad because that can lead on to cancer, but also as well, the actual treatment for prostate cancer leads to impotence. So these are three big killers and three big disablers for Black males, you know. Yes. Again, the sad thing is entirely, absolutely and totally preventable with people who have a good understanding of the impact of nutrition, the impact of the wrong foods, the impact of dead foods continuously on the body, the impact of stress, entirely preventable, you know. Okay. But also as well, entirely curable as well. If people are ready to take on board some health disciplines, yes, do some 360-degree turns in how they're living, how they're eating, people can experience healing. I see this often in the work I do, get people to change their diet, get people to cut out especially the carbohydrates, processed carbohydrates, the breads, cakes, rice, pasta, biscuits, these kind of foods, which actually clog up the body. People literally you can become a new person within 3 months by following natural health disciplines.
So what advice would you give to men who suffer from erectile dysfunction? And I've seen this with men, even in men who say they're healthy, but they might, for example, they smoke loads of ganja. Yeah. But they, they're having problems in that department. I can't imagine any man who would call up tonight and actually admit that on the air. So speak for the brothers.
Well, what's happening, apart from what people are doing to themselves, there's a massive environmental surge that's mitigating against male health. Yes. Now, for instance, I'm sure we've all heard the stories about fishes in rivers. Do you know what I'm going to say? That are hermaphrodite, that have got male and female sex organs.
Yes. Pollution.
Because of the pollutants that are being unleashed into the waterways, that are going into the landfill sites and plastics, what we're finding is males are taking up huge amounts of these chemicals, which are hormone disruptors.
Yes.
So they disrupt the normal hormone function of the male and actually introduce huge amounts of artificial female hormones. They're not actually real hormones. They're called xenoestrogens, which are actually, for some quirky reason, very, very similar to female hormones. These are being introduced into people's bloodstreams.
Yes.
And these are literally affecting people. And also a lot of the foods as well, especially high-fat foods like dairy, have huge amounts of hormones in.
Yes.
And so males are literally under attack in their sexuality, in their reproductive capability, and in their maleness from the environment. And this is what's actually happening now. So you find that 1 in 4 males now doesn't have sufficient motile sperm to actually initiate pregnancy. An untold number of males are actually impotent and have some form of sexual dysfunction. I mean, for instance, the biggest selling drug of all time, I think, was Viagra. So that tells the story, doesn't it?
Yes.
In terms of huge demand
yes.
for Viagra and Viagra spin-offs and Viagra copies, you see. So males are under a massive attack right now, just for the environment. And that's before they've even begun to look at what they're doing themselves in terms of foods they're eating. So what I find with male health is very, very important to take care of the health. I run a program called the HealthRestore Programme.
Yes.
On this program, it takes 3.5 months of like cleansing the body, changing their diet, sort of like almost working miracles on this program in terms of turning people's health around.
Yes.
But I'm finding the uptake for the program is mainly with women.
Yes.
Males don't step forward to be proactive with their health. They don't.
Maybe the women need to have some kind of criteria where they say, right, especially single women, before they say, right, before I'm dating this guy, he has to fill out this interview.
Okay.
All about his health.
Okay.
And if he doesn't get like 7 out of 10, no date.
Yeah. Okay.
And maybe the wives need to start getting heavy on the husbands.
Well, we've got to do something because generally, as a rule, males, I mean, there are more now, but generally males are not proactive when it comes to health and not stepping forward. It's women who step forward with their health.
Yes.
You see, so we find that we will leave health issues to the last. It's actually absolutely a critical situation before we've said, well, maybe I should do something about this.
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
So we find that male health, especially in the black community, it's very sad what's going on. And if there's anybody out there with high blood pressure, I'd like them to call me, make an appointment, see me when I'm around, because I've got strategies for lowering blood pressure literally within days or weeks.
Yes,
you know.
yes.
But the mainstream medical system, you take anti-blood pressure medication for the rest of your life. You become a customer for life.
Yes.
You see, and a
customer is the right word, isn't it?
That's
customer,
right.
Yeah.
And it's totally, absolutely unnecessary. You see, there are simple strategies by which you can lower blood pressure. But
Yes.
let me just say, just a quick deviation, but on the same topic. One of the main things that we're doing in the community, which helps raise blood pressure, it was using the wrong fat, the wrong oils.
To cook.
Yeah.
Yes.
The vegetable oils are totally processed, totally heat treated, totally destroyed, totally dead, no enzymes. And what they do, they clog up the body.
Yes.
See, one foundation of high blood pressure is that the blood has gone thick. So the thick blood cannot travel through the vessels, cannot move through the body properly. Okay. So the heart has to pump 10 times harder. And remember, this heart is already under stress and damaged anyway.
Yes.
Okay. To move that blood through. You see, so get people doing a program and doing a cleansing program, doing a juicing program, and they soon start to thin the blood, and the blood pressure is beginning to drop.
Yes.
And you've got specific herbs which actually lower blood pressure. You've got specific fruits and vegetables which can help to thin the blood. Things like pineapple. Pineapple actually cleans the blood.
Yes.
Garlic actually cleans the blood. You see, you've got specific herbs as well, things like cerasine, which actually cleanse the blood and purify the blood.
Yes.
And this all helps to bring blood pressure down. But people applying these things in a scientific and a specific way, like under a program that I take people on, people can lower their blood pressure, throw away the medication, literally within 30 days, certainly within 3 months.
I have a theory that some of the reasons why we suffer from poor health is because we eat for comfort.
Well,
yes.
Yeah. There's a lot of comfort eating, and do you notice the comfort eating is always mainly based around carbohydrates?
Yes.
So it would be like chips, it'd be potatoes, it'd be rice, it'd be starches,
pastas,
and pasta. Yeah. Then then sugar.
Yes.
White sugar, which is the most deadly food, the most refined food, and I call it the number one drug on the planet today is white sugar. You see. So what happens when people take starches turn to sugar. You see, chocolate full of sugar releases huge amounts of blood sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Which stimulates a part of the brain. So it's highly, highly addictive behavior people are engaging in, you see, by using these processed foods, starches and sugars, you see. So this is what we're having. We're having as users, people take comfort from this. And that's why it's one way out is for people to wean themselves off these foods and start to replace them with foods which don't have that kind of impact on the body and on the blood sugar. Okay, we touched briefly on the memory. I'll run out of time, but
we only have 35 minutes left.
Let's go to ladies now. One of the biggest health challenges black women face today in the Western world is fibroids.
Big time.
It's a big problem. People will be shocked at the extent of the fibroids we're experiencing, and they'll also be furthermore shocked at the amount of young black women, African sisters, who have had their wombs removed. This is shocking, and it's absolutely a disgrace, and it's an abomination what's happening. But the thing is that the link between fibroids and diet is again tied to the hormones, huge amounts of hormones in the dairy. huge amounts of hormones in the chicken, huge amounts of hormones in the meat, in the beef. You see, what you find with black women have the highest levels of estrogen of all the peoples on the earth. So when we start to eat foods which have been chemically laced with estrogen-like compounds, this will push the estrogen in the body out of balance. Then you end up with all kinds of reproductive problems, with not only fibroids, but with menstrual problems, menstrual periods which go on for days, heavy bleeding, bloating, cramp, fibroids, endometriosis, all these kind of problems. Again, all entirely preventable, but again, all linked to the diet.
How long should a woman generally have her period for on average? What's the average number of days?
The average number of days. The average number of days happening now generally is about 4 days upwards.
Yeah.
That's more or less like an average, yeah?
Yeah.
But you know what it should be? It should be 2 to 3 days absolute maximum.
Yes.
Yeah. I've worked with women, get them on a program, get the body cleansed, take them through a program, take them through changing the diet, getting a diet which is based on a high amounts of live foods with enzymes in. Then what you find on a diet like that, the reproductive function will improve, and the menstruation and period cycles will normalize and go down to, say, 2 to 3 days with no bloating, no pain, and no heavy bleeding.
Okay, we have a caller on the line. Good evening.
Yes, good evening. My name is Paul.
Paul, all right, Paul. What's happening?
What's the name of this brother?
Derin.
Derin.
Yes.
Why, Derin, you all make the people them close up them food store in Birmingham.
Hi.
Me run a little low in the garage and I tell you plain and straight that when me listen to you, you remind me of when my grandmother used to send me out in the morning time to go look bush the boiled things. You get me? And then days you know, you find out the boil it's strong and healthy. You used to use the molasses and sweeten the tea.
Okay.
Taste bad in a rasta.
Okay.
But me I tell you, say, it was a vibe then and there.
Yes.
You done put back things right to the wood fire days rasta. And then you done put it back to, you know.
Yeah,
yes, most certainly.
This is really edifying.
Okay.
People need this, you know.
Yes.
Okay.
And trust me, me feel good for know so well then why the man do a good work pertaining to all them things. Because black people need to find themselves and know so well then why.
Yeah, man.
The white thing and with this microwave thing don't really work out. Although me as a man, me can't do without in the room in the garage. But me find myself a hot plate now. Me want to chuck out the microwave for a long time because me find out so well then why not good for the system.
Yeah, they're not. Microwaves aren't.
Yeah. Nutricide.
So basically, me love, just keep up the good work.
Okay.
Yeah, man, just keep up the good work, you know. Me have to go change all my diet too.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah, man, I have to go change all my diet because
Excellent.
no nice at all.
Okay.
I ain't able to get the penile dysfunction because it's really nice. We have to please the system out there.
And you know, women will talk. some women will talk.
Hey.
They'll be saying, you know, Paul.
You know what I say? You know what I say to the brother?
Yeah, man, have a lovely evening. Let somebody else talk to you. Respect.
Okay, more power every hour.
Believe me, brothers, you don't want the sisters talking on the street, especially if she got some vocal skills like she's a singer or a rapper. Oh my God, you don't need one singing about you, believe me. Okay, we have some more calls coming through. Remember, man, the aim. Remind them.
Okay, the aim is to come to a high knowledge of health, to become health empowered, and to take charge of your own health. Your health is in your hands.
Okay, we have another caller on the line. Good evening.
Yes, no, greetings.
Okay, greetings, Sister K.
Greetings, yes.
All right, what would you like to say to Derin?
Okay, excellent program. Greetings to you, brother.
Greetings.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling in. Blessings
You're
to you.
welcome. Listen, brother, the only thing, very interesting, informative what you've said. Brother, you haven't mentioned water.
Water.
Very, very important, yes?
Yeah, very important.
And would you believe we're both here in the studio drinking water?
No, wait, no. Water is so important. The food also that we're putting into the body is very, very important, yes?
Yes.
But, you know, water, I tell you, you need that, of course. That helps flush things out and, you know, it just helps. We must drink loads of water, particularly this time of the season, you know?
Can I tell you another angle on water?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, if we're eating a natural diet, a large amount of the daily intake of water comes from the diet. Now, check this. All processed foods have 0 water in them. Very low water, yeah? All cooked foods have like 5 or 10% water in them. When you cook a food, there's no water in the food, yeah? Very 5%, yeah? But when you eat a natural food, what's called a live food, yeah? A live foods are 90% water. Okay. Yeah, so all fruits is water, the 90% water. All vegetables like 70 water. You see, so when people are eating the right amount of live food, they're getting a huge amount of water input just from the food alone. That is a natural arrangement that we're supposed to do.
I understand that vegetables obviously are bodybuilders. They help the body.
That's right.
Fruits, of course, are body cleansers.
That's right. You got it. You got it. She knows a thing or two.
You good girl.
Okay, yeah. I mean, obviously, I've had a good mentor and so on. You've had Brother Ben Yosefat, Ben Israel?
Yes, he came onto the show a few weeks ago.
Of course, and obviously, he and I think many others made me change my diet back beginning of 2000. Just listening to him and saying, explaining what you're putting into your body, what it's doing to your body. So the food you're putting into your body is eating you away. Right?
Okay, yes, and we've never actually had Ben Israel talking about diet on the show. Actually, he was talking more about politics, but something to think about.
Brother, and also another obviously speaker, well-known individual is Dr. Lelo Africa.
Yeah.
Now, when you're hearing him, and people get his books, switch the TV off, and get Nutritionist and get African Holistic Health.
Yes,
right?
and get some of his DVDs as well. He's got some good DVDs out there.
Of course, because I mean, reading through Dr. Lelo Africa just quickly, he's basically saying that the human body, we are vegetarian animals. We are these, the body's not designed to take meat anyway. Okay, but you need to go through the African Holistic book by Dr. Lelo Africa.
Okay.
You switch your television off because there's a load of rubbish on there. You get your head in the book.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right, so keep up the good work. It's awesome, but people need to know that because so many sick people walking around today, 21st century, in this advanced society.
Yeah.
Yes, most certainly.
All right.
Thank you very much, Sister K.
Yes, you're welcome.
Okay, thank you very much. We have some text messages. Let me walk over. Probably can hear me walking over to the computer. All right. Sister B is saying thank you because she really has that sleepiness problem. Very, very bad.
Sister B, give me a call after the show.
Yes.
And I'll tell you what to do about that.
And she says, there's a few questions here. What about probiotics? Will they help to add enzymes? She says that a lot of people get sleepy after eating large meals and that she finds it's very predominant amongst black people.
Right. You know why? It's the starches, the carbohydrate, sap all the energy.
Okay.
Cooked carbohydrate.
Yeah. Also, there's a text message from Trish. Greetings. What about supplements like Maradina? Should we be taking things like this? Please explain. Thank you. And there's another text which says, what oils are best to cook with? And you've already answered that question.
I'm refined. I didn't actually answer it, really.
Yeah,
I'm
you
refined
did.
oils.
Yeah, you did. You did speak about the oils. Or was you speaking to me in the week?
No, that was you, actually. I didn't say.
Oh, okay, but you were saying coconut oils. Coconut oil, olive oil.
Any oil, as long as it's not been heated, as long as it's not been refined. And you can find these increasingly in health food shops and increasingly in the supermarket now. Unrefined oil or cold pressed oils. Because once you heat an oil, you change its molecular structure. It actually becomes toxic in the body. The body cannot recognize the oil or do much with it. And it stays in the system in the body for like weeks, literally months on end. So this is the big thing we're doing wrong using the processed cooking oils like the spray and the mazola and all these corn oil, the vegetable oils, which have been processed but gone for extensive processing.
Okay, so what about the question about probiotics and enzymes?
Probiotics will do you no good unless your bowel's been cleansed. You see, probiotics, imagine you're trying to sow seed on concrete or on unsuitable soil. If you want to sow seed or prepare a ground to grow something, you have to first prepare the soil. And the preparation of the soil in the human body is by cleansing the bowel. You cannot put probiotics on a bowel that's not been properly cleansed. Because look at it this way, the probiotics is basically bacteria. Now, what do bacteria eat? Or the good bacteria they eat cellulose. Where do you get cellulose from? You get cellulose from vegetable matter. You see, so you first have to clean the bowel, then change the diet, then the bacteria will stick in the bowel and hang around and have a happy environment.
All right. Yeah. So, let's move on. We've got the last half hour of the show. And are you talking about raw food diets? Now, I find that quite interesting because when I was in Barbados and Jamaica as well, I had the privilege to, go around to a few raw food places. Yeah. Particularly the restaurants. Let me tell you a story. When I was in Barbados, I went to this food place. And it was only about $10, which is about £3 for some raw food. And I've never really had raw food in that kind of way. I've had salad, but not on the big scale. I said, okay, let me have some raw food and see what this thing tastes like. And I had some, and believe I don't smoke, but I think I understood what people mean when they say they get high from, taking certain things. And I was just, my skin, I was just tingling all over, tingling.
That's the energy. That's the electric energy. See, all food's got electric energy from the enzymes.
Yeah.
If you don't get electric energy, you won't get the energy and your body cannot heal.
Yeah.
Every night when you go to sleep, your body will consolidate like a bank and heal. But if you haven't got the enzymes there, it cannot do that job.
Okay. And one of our callers, Paul, he says that he has a food shop. Now you don't have to close on your food shop. Trust me, just open a healthier food shop. People would flock to you.
Just get the fresh food in there.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm not trying to close down food shops. I'm trying to close down the undertakers.
Yeah.
Less undertakers. Listen, we want to live long, be strong.
Yeah.
Get it on.
Oh dear. So yes, I mean, it was a real beautiful experience eating that raw food in Barbados. I got my sisters to come along with me. I went back and got a friend of mine, and we all sat there like we were on drugs or some kind of magic mushrooms. We were just like,
you're feeling good, right?
Yeah.
Listen, I feel like that all the time.
Yes.
I got that kind of buzz, that vibration going all the time.
And you look very well. I'm not going to ask you how old you are, but
really?
You look very, very well.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah,
thank
some
you.
people don't like to answer how old they are, but you look vibrant, very vibrant.
Remember, you're as young as you feel. You see, it's all about energy. It's all about energy. No energy in the food.
Yeah,
no
most
energy in the
certainly.
body.
And then when I went to Kingston, I went to in Jamaica. I went to this restaurant, and it was a Rastafarian restaurant, and they only deal with raw food. And they made some cakes, and that's one of my fetishes, cakes. I like cakes, sweet things. And I had this cake, and oh my God, it was just so delicious. And I went to the brother. Iris, he's well known across the world, actually.
Iris Lafam.
Yes,
I know him.
yeah, well known with the.
I've done a little bit of work with him once
yes.
before, yeah.
So I said, "What is this?" And he began to explain what was inside the cake and everything, and it was just raw.
Yeah.
So I said, "How can you make a cake that hasn't been heated? I don't understand." So he took me around the back of the shop where they have these special ovens, and you have the sun. I mean, I'm sure for those of you who come from Jamaica, you'll know. Ain't no sun like Kingston sun. It's just hot. But he had these special ovens, and that's how he would cook.
Oh, he put it on.
Oh, that's it. He was
So the heat from the sun, the warm temperature, below a temperature. So what he's doing is cooking the food below a temperature, which didn't destroy the enzymes in the food, you see. So there's ways you can actually warm food below a certain temperature, and you don't lose the enzyme energy in the food, you see. This is the big secret of life. This is a secret we've been missing out on. And I'll tell you what, I do workshops and seminars in London, and we teach people how to make raw foods, delicious foods, and not kill the food. When you don't kill the food, then you have the energy in the food and your body will heal itself. The body is a self-healing mechanism, you know. And that's why the cancer research people, they've taken 40 billion pounds or whatever. They're basically saying eat 5 portions of raw food a day to minimize your cancer risk. You see? And it's cost them millions of pounds to research this to tell us that, you know, that the energy that fights cancer or stops you getting cancer is in raw food. You see, so this is the biggest health secret that's really emerging. And there is a movement happening now where a lot of people are switching onto this and realizing and seeing massive changes in their mind, in their bodies, in their spirit by living on a diet that's based on raw foods, or at least increasing the amount of raw food. The average person has a diet where have like maybe 10% or less of diet raw food. That is too low to sustain life. You will crash.
Okay, what percentage of our food should be raw foods?
You know what? To tread water, just to tread water, 50%, just minimum. Yeah.
Minimum.
But if you want to be healthy, you want to experience like a lot of energy, a lot of vibe, a lot of good health, and just leap out of bed every morning, you need to be on about 80% raw food.
Okay.
Yeah. If you've got a health challenge, certainly. If you want to, you'll never overcome a health challenge unless you get into the 80% zone. Yeah. Or sometimes when I work with people with cancer, I get them into the 100% zone of raw food, for healing of the body. You see,
yes.
but really, just to have health, you need to have 80% of your diet raw.
Okay, right. Now, for some of our listeners out there, raw food is a new concept. Explain what raw food is exactly.
Okay,
for some people, they could be thinking like, I got to eat raw food for the rest of my life.
Raw food is live food. Yeah. Now, let me see. In the thinking, in the mixed up thinking that we have in the Western world here, that we find that most people are sick by the age of 40 now. The generation, we find that children are dying before the parents now. We find that kids have got diabetes now. We find that we've got millions in healthcare and hospitals are just bursting at the seams. And you find people that go in hospital and they get sick in hospital. This is mayhem. This is madness, you see. In that madness, you can see the thinking behind that must be wrong. So you have to go to another thinking now. See, what is live food? Live food is a natural food of man where we don't cook the food, you see.
So, okay, so fruits, they're naturally
Fruits,
live
yeah.
foods.
No,
yeah.
See, with fruits,
and vegetables.
We've come a wrong way with fruits. We think fruits is a luxury, and some hard food and some starch food is the real food, and fruit is just an adjunct. No, fruit is the center of the diet. Fruit is a natural food of man. And you even have that right there in the scripture in Genesis 1:29. It talks about the food that was put on the earth for man. It's right there.
Yes.
You see. But what we've done, we've minimized fruit and we maximize man-made food or man-tampered with food.
Yes.
So that has led to the current health problem and situation and crisis that we're in today.
Yes.
Now, if people can stop that madness at any time they choose and start to eat a diet, that's with more fruit. Now, I'll give you an example. Remember when we're kids, you go shopping with your mum and you come back with your mum and you unpack the stuff and there'll be like a load of fruit.
Yes.
And she put the fruit in a fruit bowl and the fruit bowl go on the sideboard somewhere and there'll be some like lovely grapes and a couple of bananas and apples. Then when mum's looking, you go and try and grab some of the grapes. And mum say, leave the grapes alone, leave my grapes alone. Yeah. And you get the sense that the fruit was like a kind of luxury thing, which is there, look good, and maybe just have a little bit of it, blah, blah. And if guests come round, they get fruit,
Yeah.
So that mentality is fruit as being like a luxury thing when you have one or two. But fruit is the abundant thing. So most people eat 1 or 2 bananas.
Yes.
If we had like 4, 5, 6 bananas, that's a meal.
Yes.
You don't need anything past that, you see. Most people eat avocado, half an avocado. If you get 2 or 3 avocados, that'd be like a main meal, you see.
Okay.
See, one of my main
But they
meals
say avocados are fattening.
No, they're not. They're not fattening, no. The only fattening fats are fats which have been heated. A raw fat is never fattening.
Okay.
You see, a raw fat can never make you fat.
A raw fat can never make you fat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Raw
Good evening, caller. Welcome to the On a Level Talk Show.
Hi, greetings. One more time, please.
Okay, quickly, because we've got 20 minutes left.
Okay.
I want to give out some details for people to contact Darren.
Okay, just mention again, just quickly, you mentioned about fruits and that. Just make sure people are eating fruits with natural seeds, as you just mentioned. Obviously, if the Creator made fruits and things with seeds, you eat them. If you didn't, you don't eat these genetic modified
like
foods,
some people come with grapes without seeds.
Please eat it with the seeds, because there's so much nutrition and goodness in seeds. Yeah?
Yes.
It's there.
Yeah. Well, again, it's all part of the problem we're seeing increasingly.
They just say, sorry for butting in, say, have this quickly, this is good for you, and you're seeing fruits and vegetables blown up. That's not a natural food, is it?
Yeah.
You understand?
Trust me, you go to the Caribbean, when you see natural food
yes, I know.
and Africa, oh God.
Soil, huh?
Why?
Different tastes, different energy.
Everything.
Totally.
Even the people, you see the men and the women.
Okay.
And the elders got life and energy.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Something counts.
And just briefly, Dr. Benizar, again, back to him, he said about when you're eating, please don't eat and drink at the same time.
Okay.
Because it causes a natural catastrophe inside your body.
Precisely.
So you eat, obviously, the food you're eating first, and let the natural things inside your body mash it all up naturally.
Okay.
Then an hour later, please drink water. Okay? And obviously, this is for the community, obviously, people who maybe have problems with, bowel movement, you will notice straight away a difference because you're breaking up, first of all, you eat your food, let it mash up naturally inside. Take the water an hour later, and I'll tell you, it'll just help you go, obviously, you get natural bowel movement.
Okay, Sister Kay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, good night.
Okay, thanks for that. That's good. Yeah, she's obviously she's done her homework, she's done her research.
Okay,
all right. We're coming to the last 17 minutes of the show. Contact Derin for a free health consultation. He leaves Birmingham on Wednesday. After that, you're going to have to travel to London to get in contact with him. He's come down all the way to Birmingham, especially for you. All right, so make good use of the brother. We really appreciate his presence here in Birmingham.
Yeah. Okay, I'd just like to say, please do call. I'd like to meet some people from Birmingham. And there are 3 types of people I'd like to meet. First and foremost, people who've got any health challenges, especially long-term health challenges. I'd like to have a consultation with you and show you how the program I do called the HealthRestore Programme can actually help you reverse long-term health challenges and come off the medication. I'm also looking for, because I have a range of health products I've developed. I've got over 30 products in my range. I'm also looking for resellers, people who work for themselves or maybe only have a shop or some like a part-time business. I'm looking for resellers. I've got different products which are very, 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 very good products for restoring health and maintaining health. And thirdly, the third type of people I like to interact with while I'm here, I'm looking for people who are organizers, who organize events, who would be interested in organizing workshops and seminar around the theme of raw food, cleansing and healing. We do these events in London. They're very successful, and there's a huge level of interest in these now for events about cleansing raw foods. And that would be interesting. So if you fit in those categories, please give me a call. We're very, very excited and happy to meet and talk with you.
Do you have any quick questions you want to put to Derin whilst he's here on the On a Level talk show? The number to dial is 678-6666. What a number. 678-6666. Or send a text on 07624-809-887. All right. He will be around after the show, but you know how difficult it is to actually, when you have other DJs on the air, it can be very difficult to answer the phone in the other studios because they may think the call is coming through for them. So, slight conflict there. All right. One more call. Then Derin is going to tell us all about his 3-day challenge that he has for you and me. Okay. Good evening, caller.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. Who am I speaking to?
Eva.
Oh, Mrs. St. John.
Speaking.
Yes. Good evening.
Thank you very much, Ankhobia. You're doing a very good job, and I want to say thank you very much to the brother.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for the encouragement.
Greatly appreciated.
Okay.
All righty. Good night.
Oh, that's it? Okay, good night. Okay, thanks for the call.
You're welcome.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. That's our beautiful elder, Mrs. St. John. If you ever see that elder, because she's very strict about her health and diet.
Really? Okay.
She shines. She glows.
Okay.
When she tells you how old she is, you say, nah, you can't be. You can't be. She absolutely shines. For people who, they've heard what you've had to say. And for some people, they've heard this information for several years now.
Yeah.
But they can't seem to put it into practice.
Yeah.
What kind of a oomph a punch would you give to them to say, like, okay,
well,
get it. You've heard all this information now.
What I would say is, I recommend my program. I've got a program called the HealthRestore Programme, which puts everything together in terms of the right stages to go to undo maybe 10, 20 years of neglect. Because basically all ill health is down to neglect. Neglect of health, neglect of disciplines, So I put together a program which really focuses on some basic health principles, focuses on cleansing the body through different stages of cleansing the bowel and all the organs in the body, and focuses on how strategies for getting more raw food, live food in the body, and also teach about how to do this with our food, especially like things like, there are about 10 things you do with plantain, 10 ways you can eat plantain raw, which is like a massive staple, great staple food for the body.
Plantain,
So I do this program, it's a consultation program, and, so I recommend this program. But the key thing, if you look at some of the callers who rang in and had information to share, they've gone out and done research, you see. So I always advise people, it's very important to raise your health IQ.
Yeah.
You see, get information, really become interested in your own health. Look at some alternative information, because obviously the mainstream information they're giving people doesn't work. See, it's a fact. The information they give to diabetics actually keeps people diabetic.
Yes, like my dad, bless his soul, he was a diabetic.
You never see a diabetic come off the diabetes medication based on the information that is given by the hospitals or the doctor.
Yeah,
you see?
Never.
So now we need to look outside this. We need to look at other information in order to take charge and have total control and ownership of our health individually and collectively. Furthermore, it's so important at this time, due to the huge amount of environmental challenges, the huge amount of tampering with the food that we're seeing, the genetic modification. It's absolutely imperative that people really take charge of their health and become knowledgeable about health, but also become proactive.
Okay.
But let's talk about this challenge before I forget.
Three-day challenge.
Now,
let's go.
Here's my challenge, and maybe people can ring in sometime or ring me and tell me later. I'm going to challenge some people. I'm going to challenge everybody to go 3 days and eat as much food as you like. Eat as much food as you like, but none of it cooked. Yeah.
I can eat chocolate and cake.
No, that's cooked. It's cooked in a factory. I mean, it's not been heat treated.
Yes. Okay.
So like bananas, avocado, mango, papaya, not been heat treated. Coconut, not been heat treated.
Salads.
You see? Salads, green vegetables, cucumber, watermelon, broccoli, not been heat treated, you see. So make up meals, or don't make up meals, just eat food. Just maybe try eating 4 or 5 bananas and saying, boom, I'm full up. That's a meal, you see. Okay. And see what it feels like. See the energy, see the life that comes into your body from not eating cooked food. Try it for 3 days. I want to challenge some people here. I want to step out of what they've been experiencing, because you can never experience what you've never had before. You've never done what you've never done before. Does that sound right? Is that right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. You know what they say, if you keep doing the same thing, you get the same results.
Yeah. So I'm going to challenge you. I'm telling you, you're going to have a fantastic experience if you just lock down a cooker for 3 days, throw away the microwave permanently, and just eat just fresh food, unprocessed food, raw food, non-stop for 3 days. And I promise you'll experience something really, really amazing. You see, so that's a challenge. And if anybody wants to take that challenge, maybe you can get back to us, Ankhobia, or myself, drop me a line, drop me an email, or give me a call and tell me what you experienced. And furthermore, if anybody wants to do this challenge and maybe wants some help with this challenge, I can give some suggestions how you can do this, how you can shop for this challenge. And it's perfectly safe. You can do this for the children as well. And I think you're going to have an interesting experience, so let us know. Let us know.
Are bananas like starchy fruit?
Not when they're ripe. No, the starch. See, when bananas are ripe, the starch becomes sugar.
Yes.
You see, when they're not ripe, they are starchy.
Okay. What about grapes? Like, because I have this thing about I cannot eat grapes unless they have seeds.
So, ditto here. Same here.
Yeah.
The grapes are an amazing food. They're a very powerful food. Grapes are very healing and they're very cleansing. But yeah, it is important. We do need the grapes with seeds in.
Yes.
I don't know here, but in London, I find that a lot of the Greek shops and the Turkish shops. They maintain their tradition of natural foods, and that's where I get the seedy grapes from. But I don't know if you have a lot of Greek community here. But in the supermarkets, forget it. You're only going to find seedy grapes now.
Have they been, unseeded grapes, have they been manipulated to make them grow without seeds?
Absolutely.
Absolute madness.
Yeah.
Absolute madness.
Yeah. So listen, who's going to join my movement? Who's going to say we want better health? Who's going to say we want to live to 120 years old? Who's going to say we defy sickness? Who's going to throw away the medicine bottles? Who's going to clean their body? Who's going to come to another level of health? If you are, let's have a health revolution for the black people. Let's have a revolution of people really caring about their health. Let's have a new generation of people who are not always in a doctor's surgery or in hospitals under cancer and diabetes and fibroid statistics.
And it's funny because me and some friends were actually reasoning. And one of the things that I was saying was that, sometimes you talk about the system and the ills of the system. I always say that, I always say it's something that kind of came to me through reasoning. And I was thinking to myself, that's funny. If you want to challenge the system, surely if you're fed up of the way the system does certain things, one of the things to do that would be to change your diet.
Absolutely.
Because they can't get certain monies off you if you're not buying into some of the nonsense they're trying to sell you.
Yeah. Because the biggest victimization that we're having is through advertising. All the advertising is basically subliminal programming. For instance, if I go into someone's house, I invariably find that most of the foods in someone's cupboard or their fridge are the advertised brands.
Yes.
You see? Now, I began to realize that huge amounts of money, literally millions of pounds are spent to convince people to buy food. It's a very subtle convincing. It's a programming. People are programmed to eat certain foods, which are not really foods. You see, people are programmed to eat Kellogg's. People are programmed to buy Kit Kat. People are programmed to drink Coke. People are programmed to buy KFC. So there's a message that goes out using very, very powerful persuasion techniques, subliminal techniques, which actually embeds their message, and people act on auto cue to buy these foods. So people are persuaded to go out, work hard for their money, and spend their money to actually eat foods which have no benefit at all as regards health or longevity or healing. You see, You see. So this is the situation that's going on. But let's break that spell. Let's wake up from that spell. Let's deal with foods which will actually heal the body. Because Ankhobia, isn't it amazing that every natural food is a medicine?
Okay.
Pineapple is a medicine.
Yes.
Mango is a medicine. Spinach is a medicine. Sorrel is a medicine. Every green plant is a medicine.
Yes.
You see. So when we eat natural foods in a natural form, we're not only getting nutrition, but we're actually getting a natural medication going on. But when you're ill, if you take these foods to a higher degree, through things like doing maybe fasting on certain foods and also juicing, this is the true healing.
Okay. After the 3 days, is there any special precautions people should take to enter back into a cooked food diet?
Any precautions? Well, don't go too heavy. Don't go too heavy back in, because when you do this, you actually see how much cravings there are for certain cooked foods. You see, so people, they feel fantastic, they feel a bit high and elevated, but there's this craving pulling them back to eat certain foods. But maybe for the first time, people eat certain foods and see the massive drop in energy from eating like a bowl of cooked food. That it literally just drops the energy right through the floor.
Okay, we have our last caller. Good evening, caller.
Greetings, Sister Ankhobia. I'm Sister Binta.
Greetings, sis. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Oh, good, good.
Wonderful show.
Thank you.
We're very fortunate to have brothers like that come into Birmingham. We've had several in the past. We've had Dr. Puka and we've had Layla Africa. And it's good to have Brother Darren here. But the question that you just asked him in terms of having live and then going back to cook, can I tell you exactly what happens to you? You end up with a terrible headache. Because I went live for 7 days and then I went back to cook food.
Yes.
Partly cook food, and it's just dreadful. The
Okay.
feelings of really bad headache and sluggishness and everything just came back and stuff like that. So it's really just to let people know that, you know, everything that the brother is saying has been verified. And I've met people who are actually living live, and they have done for the past like 18 years or so, and they look totally different as well.
Yeah.
And
I've seen this all the time.
One of the things eating live, and I mean, I'm a vegan, and I'm a vegan. I haven't quite gone live yet, probably 50-50. It actually makes you look prettier.
Absolutely.
and Sister Binta, the brother's very pretty, you know.
I've seen him. I've met him.
I'm telling you, I see transformations. I see people, and I'm shocked. I'm amazed what happens to people within like 1 month, 3 months, 1 year. People get absolutely, totally transformed when they go onto a pure diet, a natural diet. You see, so what we're realizing then is that cooked food is not only just killing people, it's actually changing their features, degrading their features, and bringing all the energy down and aging people. That's why people age. So you find on a pure diet and with cleansing, you have a rejuvenation and an anti-aging, and it's beautiful.
That's right, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Good
Sister
night.
Binta, thank you very much.
Ankhobia, empowering the community with the On a Level talk show.
Knowledge for the people.
Love yourself, love, and your expression, peace and love.
The On a Level talk show addresses issues that matter to you. Join Ankhobia and guests every Monday from 6 to 7 p.m.
Reality ain't always the truth.
The On the Level talk show.
Okay, Brother Derin, I'm going to be quiet.
Be quiet.
The floor is yours. You have
Okay.
a minute also to speak. The phone lines are going.
Okay.
Give us about 5 minutes. Call back in about 5 minutes because we need to clear the studio. Give us about 5 minutes. The floor is yours. This is a good night from me. See you next week. Derin, the floor is all yours.
Okay. Thank you, Birmingham. Good people. Thank you for listening in. Thank you for tuning in. Like I said, if anybody wants to make contact, give me a call. We can go deeper on any particular issues. But yeah, just keep it healthy. Keep it as raw as possible. And really, let's address health issues and let's really think seriously about the health crisis that's actually going on and how you can come out of that situation, how you can come in that scenario, how you can take charge of your health. It's not as hard as you think. It's very, very simple once you know the right way to do. Check my website, HealthRestore.net, HealthRestore.net. And I've got several links on there which are very edifying and beneficial. Remember, your health is in your hand. Peace, love, blessings. More power every hour.